I think it's safe to say you're about to chat with someone who's setting foot on the Xbox stage for the very first time.
Last month, Hello Games shocked the community when they announced that No Man's Sky was making its way to Xbox One, including an Xbox One X enhanced version of this ambitious space exploration and survival game. And now I'm joined by Sean from Hello Games to tell us what we've been missing and what we should expect from the game's arrival on Xbox One. Sean, welcome. I think it's fair to say that I never expected to be talking to you on an Xbox stage like this.
Yeah, I snuck in. I dug a tunnel to get here.
Good. Well, you're very welcome, mate. Now, listen, I'm just going to be cheeky and open up with, when is No Man's Sky coming to Xbox One?
Yeah, we haven't told anyone yet. So July 24th is when we're releasing No Man's Sky next.
Amazing. Brilliant. There you go, July 24th. And my next potentially cheeky question is, what's the story on multiplayer for No Man's Sky?
Yeah, so this is exciting. When No Man's Sky launches, July 24th, you're going to be able to play with your friends. Kind of a full multiplayer experience.
Amazing.
Right? And this is something that, like, I wish we could have done sooner, but I'm so glad it's happening, right? We've been playtesting it in the studio for like the last 6 months. It's a really different experience. You know, No Man's Sky can be kind of, I guess, a bit mysterious, a bit weird at times, right? But like, and also sometimes a little bit lonely, right? Because it's sci-fi, and I kind of love that side of it. But this is very different. It's more Battlestar. It's like Star Trek Away Team, right? It's fun and funny and emergent and kind of intense, right?
Yeah.
So you can play with a bunch of your friends, like a small group of your friends can go exploring, right? Or you can just come across random strangers and other travelers. You can pair up together in a team and like just work together to survive. Or if you're that guy, you can go and kind of prey on other people, right?
Yeah.
If that's your thing.
That guy,
yeah. So like we've got base building as well.
Yep.
So you can build bases together. You can build everything from like tiny little shelters to like complex colonies, right, spread across like multiple planets. And because it's all online and those are shared, other people can come and visit and find them. We've got, like, No Man's Sky is a very broad game, so we've got space as well. So dogfighting, you and your friends can be involved in kind of like big space battles. You can be a pirate or a wingman. And then there's something which I really love, which is a thing we added in one of our updates, which is exocraft and vehicles, right? So you can race those against your friends. You can build racetracks on like alien planets, or even just lay down a little trail of like your favorite path, your kind of scenic route, right?
Yeah.
And so I think this is like potential that everyone's always seen in No Man's Sky, right? It's something that, I don't know, it's a kind of game that myself and a lot of other people have always wanted to play in a multiplayer world, I think, and I'm just really excited to be able to do that.
Great. Yeah, you've been through a lot with this game, right? I mean, does it feel now that you're getting to the point where you're really realizing the vision of what you always wanted from this experience?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I think when we come to Xbox, which is a fun thing, where we've got a whole bunch of like updates over the last 2 years that we've been working on, including Next. And they really expand the game, right? No Man's Sky was always huge, right? It was crazily ambitious.
Right.
But like when I look at it, those updates have really kind of expanded and deepened every part of the game, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important point, right? Because especially Xbox fans in the Xbox community, they may not know No Man's Sky as well as some other communities, right? So tell us about what is exactly going to be in the Xbox version of the game that might be different from what people heard about in the past.
Right, so when you play on Xbox, I mean, and I think this is an exciting thing for us as a developer, you always like, you know, sharing this thing that you've worked really hard on with other people. But for us in particular, it's interesting with Xbox because we get to make that first impression with people. We have a much broader and more expanded game. So when you play it, day one, you're playing that base, like stupidly ambitious game that a small team was making, but you're also playing like 4 kind of pretty major updates in like Pathfinder, Atlas Rises, Foundation, and now Next.
Right. So tell us about Next. Well, actually, let's talk about some of the key things that are in those other 4 expansions, and then let's move on to Next. So what are like the biggest things that you've added since the game initially released?
Yeah, I mean, No Man's Sky is something that we've been kind of working on and developing over the last while with these major updates. And the thing that's been really fun is kind of working with the community, and we want to do that more, kind of listening intently. So you've got like Foundation, which was our first update, and that brought base building. It brought kind of survival mode, creative mode. Suddenly you could buy freighters and things like that. You could start farming. And so that was like already No Man's Sky was something that people played for a long time. You know, like our average playtime was really long, but Foundation kind of massively improved that, right? Kind of went through the roof. Then we had Pathfinder, which brought vehicles. It also brought permadeath. You could expand base building a lot more. You could share them online and stuff like that. And that, for me, actually was loads of little things that we added in that update that made the game kind of much more fun, actually, just a lot slicker and things like that. And then most recently we had Atlas Rises. Atlas Rises was a huge update. It brought a mission and quest system. It brought like 30 hours of story, really changed the game, and it got a really nice reception and a lot of people playing. And so that actually was the reason we kind of took a step back after that and just kind of went, all right, let's start working on Next, which is what we've been working on. Let's take a year and let's make it the game we want it to be, right? Let's just, you know, do the things we want.
So when you come to Xbox One and you ship No Man's Sky Next as well, I mean, does it kind of feel like a bit of a reboot for the game for you and the team at Hello?
Yeah, it's interesting. We've been working on this for 2 years in a way, like a year on Next and a year on updates previously that this all builds on top of, right? And that's a really cool thing. And we're lucky that we have a community that cares really deeply about the game, you know? And so I get a real kick out of like working on updates and kind of feeding them, doing things that I know they'll enjoy. But like, I don't know, you know, maybe one day I will feel that No Man's Sky has been, I don't know, like rebooted, or it's kind of done, and I can't think of anything else I want to do to it, but I don't feel like that, actually.
Right.
At the moment, I'm really enjoying what we're doing right now, and there's so many things that I can kind of get excited about in the future.
Yeah.
You know, this is...
Well, tell us more about that. I mean, what's the vision, like, after you come to Xbox? You know, what's down the road for No Man's Sky?
Well, I think that's an interesting thing, right? I think we're good at, like, I don't know if we're good. We're good at making games, right? We're definitely better at that than talking about it, right? And I think, you know, there's a real hunger in the community to know everything that we're doing and have a complete roadmap and stuff like that. But hopefully, you know, we will reward their patience of not having much info with just good, solid content, right? And we only like to talk about things when they are right, when we are super happy with them, right? When we know they can't possibly change. So, you know, I really like making games. I don't necessarily love talking about making games.
I think you did a good job,
even
Sean,
though, even though, you know, you guys are very nice.
Mate, seriously, thank you so much for being on the show. Welcome to the Xbox community. It's wonderful to have you here. And will you come back and talk to us more about No Man's Sky down the line?
Sure, maybe, yeah.
Great, I'll take that as a firm yes. Thank you, mate. Pleasure as always.